All right, so let's talk about what you can do right now to make money today. All right, so here's the thing, is that you've been in the business, maybe not a while, but maybe you've been in the business for maybe a month, 2 months, or whatever. The hottest leads in your entire database are leads that you've already went on appointment. So if you're going to categorize or a hierarchy of leads in your database, how would you categorize them? First off, the highest priority lead is a lead that you've already went on an appointment, right? So you went on an appointment, you haven't got the deal, that is the highest priority lead. The next highest priority lead in your database are leads that you have not touched. So those two leads right there in your database are the highest priority leads. So the goal is what to do to make money today, right? So every time you wake up in the morning, people ask and they go, well, I don't know what to do I don't know what to get, what to do. I don't know, what to do today. I don't know what I have to focus on. Listen, you got to focus on what's going to make money today. So if you focus on what's going to make money today, then that's going to push you forward to the highest priority item. So if I wanted to go out and I wanted to make money today, and my team is focused on making money today, then to do that, you obviously have to get a property under contract. You have to get a property under contract for the right price, right? So before getting a property under contract, you're going to have to make an offer. Before you make an offer, you have to find a lead to make an offer on, right? And before you find the lead to make an offer on, you got to know what is the highest priority lead. So the highest priority lead are sellers you've already went on appointments on and they have said no, and leads in your database you have not yet touched. So I'm going to talk about specifically leads that you already went on an appointment on. So here's the thing. You may have went on the appointment and you might know more today than you did when you first went on that appointment, right? So there's an education process that you might be able to or have better skills today than when you went on the appointment, number one. Number two is the seller decision timeline process, where a seller makes a decision over time because time changes, circumstances change, and time passes. So you might meet a seller, say a month ago or 2 months ago, even 3 months ago, and you meet with that seller and they tell you no, they want retail. Well, your skills at the time may not have been good enough to persuade the seller or educate the seller on why going with you is the best route, number one. Number two is, as time passes, circumstances change, right? So the goal is, as the time passes, that circumstance will change, and that circumstance will change where if you're in front of them and you call them and you keep it consistent and you follow up with them, you will be able to get the contract. Now, think about this. What if now education changes for you? Now you understand how to use what's called the down payment arbitrage. Down payment arbitrage is where you leave the existing loan in place and you negotiate a down payment to the seller and you arbitrage it with a down payment to the buyer. You might not have known how to do that a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. So the seller might be in a situation where you believe they want retail and you're not knowing how to structure a retail deal. We got a deal we're signing today on. It's going to be a $30,000 deal. So it's a $30,000 deal, and essentially we're giving the seller at or close to retail for the property. The seller has a note on the property. Then we're creating a $30,000 second note on the property, and we're giving them $5,000. But it's a beautiful house. It's in a great neighborhood. It's super clean. Houses in there are upwards to $400,000. And that house will sell off the shelf to an either retail buyer or maybe a VRBO buyer. The bottom line is that what can you do to make money today? Well, you got to make money today. You have to make offers today. The fastest way to make offers are revisit these sellers that you've already went on appointments on and approach them again from a different angle. You might not have been persistent then, right? You might not have been persistent at that time. Now you're going to be persistent. Now you're going to push through. Understanding exactly what the seller's big magic problem is. Finding that magic problem and solving that magic problem will get you to the end of the line and get that contract accepted. So listen, a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, when you visited that appointment for the first time, you might not have understand, I've got to find the magic problem. You might not have understand, I can do down payment arbitrage, or I can leave the seller financing in place and I can arbitrage the down payments. You might not have understand how to logically bring them to the closing, over that closing line, through showing them the numbers and how the numbers works, right? We call it a down to the penny close. A down to the penny close is where you're showing them the actual numbers. You're walking them through what they're going to get for a net number, right? So once you can agree on what an actual as is value for the property, right? So you got to get an as is value for the property. This is called the down to the penny close. You get them to agree with you on an as is value of the property, not a fixed up property, not an ARV property, but an as is value. Once you get to the as is value, you have what's called the list to close ratio, right? That's typically about 6%. List to close ratio is about 6%. And it's different from all parts across the entire country. So when you're doing a down to the penny close to the seller, you're getting down to the penny that they are going to get net from either going with a realtor or going with you. So the first number that you're going to deduct off that price is going to be the list to home closing ratio. Then there's going to be a repair cost. That's typically on a house like that, to get it fixed up, anywhere from 1 to 2%, right? And then you're going to take realtor commissions and fees. That's another 6%. Then you're going to have closing costs is another 2%. So you got 6% for list to home ratio. You got 6% for a realtor. You got 1 to 2% to get the property fixed up and cleaned up, right? And you're going to have what's called inspection items. Then you're going to have another 2% that are closing costs. So you're at 12, 16% right out of the gate, and we haven't even talked about holding time yet. We haven't even talked about 120 days is a typical holding time for to sell a property. So now you've got a potential 120 days that the property is going to sell. Well, guess what? There is mortgage payments. There are you've got mortgage payments on there. You've got holding costs, electric, and all that type of stuff that's on there. So that could be essentially another 1%. So, and what you're doing is you're talking to the seller through these numbers, and you're saying, listen, your net number, if you decide to go with us, if you decide to go the realtor route, is X, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to take $200,000 and you're going to go all the way down and you're going to hit a number, right? Then your net number with going with us is going to be Y. If that number can equate to a $5,000 to even a $7,000, maybe a $10,000 number, then more times than not, a seller will see the advantage of going to with you. And this is a logical close. And listen, and you can build the emotional side of the close into it by talking to the seller and telling them, say, listen, you could go the other route, and guess what? You might not even end up there. And if you do go the other route, it's uncertain. You don't know when you're going to close. You don't even know what your price is going to be. It could be a lot lower. The market could go lower, right? And you could typically, you might have to have people go through your house. You might have to clean up and fix up your property. You might have to move stuff in the storage we haven't even talked about. So that's one route of uncertainty. Or the other route is clarity and knowing exactly what's going to happen. But listen, what's the value, Mr. Seller, to you? So if you do what's called down to the penny close, you'll be able to get to that net number. So you might have not known that 5 minutes ago before we talked about it. Now you can go back and you can talk to the sellers in your database of sellers you've already talked to, and they've already told you they want retail, but you didn't know that 5 minutes ago. Now you can work with them and do what's called a down to the penny close. This is new information. So now when you're talking to the seller, you can say, hey, listen, you know what? I've got some new information. I might be able to make you a better offer than I did last time. Let me let me sit down. Let's do another meeting. So how can you make money today? What's going to make money today? How can you get a contract today and be excited? Then you can get on this live stream tomorrow and say, I took action. I called all the sellers in my database that I've already had appointments on, that they told me they wanted retail, and I didn't convert a contract, and you felt bad because of it. You walked to an appointment, you met with a seller, you walked around the house, maybe you spent an hour there, and you didn't walk out with a contract, and now you're mad, right? Now you're going, oh man, I didn't get the contract. Listen, that's an opportunity. Don't look at what didn't happen. Look at what now you can do. Now you know the down to the penny close. Now you can take them through the process. You can get them to agree on an actual as is value. Then you can reduce those percentages down to a logical number. Now you get down to a specific logical number. And if yours is, like I said, even a little bit $5,000 less, you're able to get the deal. What if they wanted retail and you now know the down payment arbitrage? You know how to structure a deal because you're taking the course maybe in the down payment arbitrage course. Now that you know that, you can turn around, leave the existing loan in place, give them a little bit of cash, even maybe create a second tier note that can get them higher up on their value and show them how they can get money. The deal that we're signing today, the seller said, listen, I want to make $40,000. So we showed them how with a second note and with a little bit of interest and deferred interest, so you didn't even have to make payments on it, plus their mortgage amount that's currently, so we kept the mortgage in place, we created a second tier note, we created enough interest that's going to be paid over 5 years on how they can make their $40,000. So we gave them exactly what they want, but it was over time, and we be able to leave the existing loan in place, and we got that contract, which is going to be essentially a $30,000 down payment arbitrage deal that we're pulling in today. So how do you give the seller what they want and be able to structure a deal where you can make a profit? Well, that's called the down payment arbitrage, right? So what's going to make money today? What's going to make money today is you making offers on sellers you've already went on appointments on. Now you have new information. And here's the other thing is persistence, right? Persistence in the appointment. And it has to be done in a way where you have a relaxed intensity. A relaxed intensity means you're intense, you're on a mission, you know where you're going to drive the conversation, you know where you're going to take the seller, but you're doing it in a relaxed fashion. There's two different types of people. There's people that are massively intense, right? They're massively intense, and what happens is it blows the seller out and they break the rapport and the seller doesn't like and trust them. Then there is a relaxed intensity where you're intense, you know exactly where you're going to bring them, but you're doing it in a nonchalant fashion by continuing to build rapport. So what we do is you push a seller to make a decision. You push a seller on a low price. You push them, you feel resistance, you back off, you build rapport, right? You build a level of rapport, then you go back and you push and you craft another angle, and then it comes back, and then they have resistance, then you push and then you go back. For an example, I got this deal under contract. Seller wanted $334,000, right? That was his number. Give me $334, don't even talk to me. That was his attitude. We need to be around $290 to $300 to make that thing work. So how do I get a guy from 334 that says, 334 nothing, down to $300,000, right? Number one. And he said, I'm not signing anything today. I walked into the appointment. I met with the seller. I built a level of rapport. I had to start low because he was a red personality. I started off at a $250,000 offer. He wanted 334. The guy freaked out. It's normal. It happens. It's part of the game. It's part of a red personality, aggressive red personality, right? So I had to come out low and have him beat me up because a red wants to win. If I would have started at 290 and 290 to 300, that's really not essentially winning to him. I had him to beat me up bloody. So I had to start at $250,000 as my initial offer. So I started at $250,000 for my initial offer, and we went back and forth. And I pushed him, we came back. I listened, and I came to the point where I might have my hand on the guy's shoulder. I says, listen, bud, I said, you want to sell, you know you want to sell. I'm a buyer. I'm sitting right here, but you have an unrealistic number. You've been trying to sell this property and you haven't been able to sell it, and I'm sitting right here because it doesn't have a master bathroom. You know it doesn't have a master bathroom, and you know it's not going to sell because it doesn't have a master bathroom. So what do you want to do? Do you want to continue living in this fantasy world that you're going to get 334, right? Or do you want to get this sucker done? You want to get it done today, and you want to get it closed. Now, that's pushing the seller. But I had to have a level of rapport first. I can't do that right out of the gate. And because I pushed that seller, guess what? He respected it. We went back and forth, and I got it signed at $300,000. And he told me I'm not signing anything today, and he told me I'm not going any lower than 334. It's called persuasion. It's called standing your ground. It's called pushing and pulling. Pushing, and then you pull back, and then you turn around and you build rapport. You push, and then you pull back and you build rapport. See, a lot of people go and they push, and then they break rapport, and then the seller doesn't like them. You know, and now you lost that potential deal, and they don't like you. So you got to push, but also too, you got to turn around and build rapport. So again, how do you make money today? The 2 leads that you want to hit in your database right now are leads that you've already been appointments on. You want to revisit those. You want to find out what the situation is. You want to find the magic problem. The magic problem. If you can find that magic problem, you're able to solve that magic problem, and you can get that deal closed, right? So the second type of lead in your database you want to talk to are leads that are not yet contacted. Those sellers, what you want to do is do a voice broadcast. Pull them all out of your database, do a voice broadcast on those. We have our VM lead machine. What we do, we create a voice broadcast, and we do that literally, not every single day, every single week we do that. But then also we physically call those sellers. They have reached out to us. We're not able to basically get them on the phone. So we want to be able to hit as many people as humanly possible. So you might have 5, 10, 15, 30 people in your database, 50 people in your database that you haven't even had a discussion with yet. These are not yet contacted leads. Those are the second highest priority leads in your database. You have paid for the data. Those leads have come in, and you haven't converted them yet into appointments. So now we got to get these people back on the phone. How do we do it? The fastest way to do it is do a voice broadcast. You can do a text to these people, and then what's going to happen is those are going to inbound. The rest of the time, you're just going to turn around and call them.